sun is so crazy bright. 6,000 years ago, it was predicted accurately. The moon will become as bright as the sun, and the sun will become 7 times brighter, sevenfold, as 7 days. Isaiah 30:26. Just one of many, many, all the scriptures are accurate, but anyway, we need to get on the ball getting people to know Christ and his love and to know the scriptures to understand that a lot of this craziness going on isn't being done by man. I know all the conspiracies out there, but read your Bible because it's in there. Also, we'll watch the... Hello. Okay, so this is just playing while, people are coming in and whatnot. Good evening, people. Mwah. God loves you, and so do I. Welcome to the chat. Grab your snacks, grab your phone so you can call in. Love to hear from you. And did you know that in Isaiah 30:26, it explains why our moon is so bright now that it burns in your eyes, and why the sun is so crazy bright? 6,000 years ago, it was predicted accurately. The moon will become as bright as the sun, and the sun will become 7 times brighter, sevenfold, as 7 days. Isaiah 30:26. Just one of many, many, all the scriptures are accurate, but anyway, we need to get on the ball getting people to know Christ and his love and to know the scriptures to understand that a lot of this craziness going on isn't being done by man. I know all the conspiracies.
So there are 5 people in the airplane.
But read your Bible.
Roger would have been seated in
there.
the radar officer's seat, which is towards the back middle of the plane. To the side of each one of them or behind them, depending how the chair's rotating, is a window.
Suddenly, his attention is drawn to something outside the Hawkeye.
Okay.
He and the entire crew watch in disbelief as a tic-tac object suddenly forms up on their E2 and then just as quickly shoots away from sight. The crew is left in disbelief. As Banger returns to the ship, the crew is shaken. The highly unusual events are troubling, but what happens next has haunted them to this day. U.S. Navy officers quickly arrive and escort the aircrew to a secure space on the ship. As the crewmen begin to take off their flight gear, an officer begins the debriefing by telling them this event did not happen. And they are given non-disclosure agreements to sign.
Hello, Discern.
They are warned to never discuss this event again.
Again, we're preparing for the air defense exercise. Now we got all the squadrons launching off the carrier because they're all up going to do their functional check flights.
Senior Chief Day watched in disbelief as the tic-tac UFOs reacted to the incoming fighter jets.
Haven't seen you in a while.
All the objects in the sky, they all dropped out of the sky. From 28,000 feet down to 50 feet.
Based on the Spy-1 Bravo radar system, the object descended at over 24,000 miles an hour.
It was unbelievable because normally what would happen if a normal aircraft did that? First of all, it would fly apart. It wouldn't be able to withstand the G-forces, and there would be multiple sonic booms. It would be boom, 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 and this did not make any sonic booms.
From what I observed, I've saw that it went from
Good.
right around between 25 and 30,000 feet down to sea level and below sea level.
Contact.
Missed some new callers last night.
042.
Below sea
Charity
level
called in.
was confirmed to
We
me
had a
by
good
the
conversation with
actual
her, and
sonar
Kevin
techs
from
that
New
were
York
in
called
combat,
in.
in
We had a good
communications
conversation with him.
other techs that had said they had an active track on it under the water. They're talking with their sonar guys on the sub that was with us, you know, and I mean, I was told directly that it did go underwater. You know, I mean,
I'm
it
showing
went
this
from
again because a
being
lot
in
of
the air
people
to
said they
underwater.
didn't see
From what
it.
they were saying, it was going averaging about 500 knots under the water. You know, so it did slow down when it hit the water, but it didn't affect it inertially.
After the intercepts, both Kevin and Gary climbed up to the ship's bridge wing to get a better view of the objects through the binoculars.
We go up to the bridge wing and look at them through the big eyes, which is heavily magnified binoculars that are out on the bridge wing of the ship.
Even when I was off watch, I was usually up in combat anyway, and I was sitting at the console. I just picked the closest object to us, and I got the relative bearing from the ship, slave over to the relative bearing at about the right altitude, and saw this white light in the sky.
The movements were smooth to erratic. They just moved from one point to another. It was always a very sharp and clean movement. It always felt like a constant speed, not like speeding up. Just it needed to go to that point, and it decided to do it at this speed, and then it would just go.
Oh, LA is evacuating
nothing
because
to
of
the speed they were going to go, and then stop
they
at the
had
next point.
9 inches of rain yesterday, so the French
Meanwhile,
Quarter and
back
stuff
on the
is
Nimitz,
already flooded.
aviation tech Patrick
And,
Hughes is working to secure the classified data recorders from the Hawkeye that
Mississippi
encountered the
River
Tic Tac.
is
We pull
already
out
above flood stage.
the hard drives. We call them RMCs. We call
And
them
they
bricks
said this
because
is
they
the first time in
physically heavy like a
history
brick.
that they've had a
But they
storm
contain the software to run the
come
airplane.
in, a tropical
They also
storm or a
record
possible
a
hurricane.
lot
They're
of the
not
data
sure
that
yet
the
what it's going to end up
aircrew
being.
sees during the flight. So we
But
take the
this is the
removable
first time
stuff,
that
we
they've
take
had
it
a
out, we go
storm come
downstairs,
in
back to our shop.
Patrick's
when
job
the
involves
Mississippi River
tracking the
is
chain of
already
custody
flooded
of
above
the
flood
hard drives.
stage.
Then we
So
open up
they're
the safe,
saying the Mississippi River
put them
could
in
be
the safe. We've got
19
tracking
feet
sheets so we know
above
what RMCs are on what
flood
airplane.
stage when this
We know who
storm
signed them out,
hits.
who put them in the
So
airplane,
they're
who took them out of the airplane.
evacuating everyone.
As he gets ready to
You know,
wrap
they
up
had
the
all the
mission,
buses and
there's a
everything
knock
in
on the
there.
door.
They were telling
Our commanding
people,
officers
you know,
there,
not to
2 other
stay.
guys in
Well,
flight suits.
you
I'm
know,
assuming we're Air Force
we know what
officers, 'cause
Scripture says,
pretty
and
sure
we
that's the
know
insignia
that
they
we're
had
going to
on,
see,
but they were not on the
you
ship
know,
earlier. I did not see
everything's
them
going to
come
be
on the ship, so I'm
historic.
not sure
Remember,
how they got
started a
there.
few years ago. Once in a
But the
thousand year
skipper
thing.
basically
Once
said,
in
I
a
need these
thousand
bricks
year
off the flight.
thing. Once in a thousand year
We opened
thing.
the safe, we
Now,
put them in the
D.C.
bags.
and Maryland
He
just
took
had a
them, he
once in
took
a
his 2
thousand year flood.
anonymous
The
officers.
White House flooded. The basement of the White House
The
flooded.
officers,
The
with the
basement of
classified hard
not the
drives in
basement, but
hand,
the
soon
Congressional
board an
Library
HS-60
flooded.
Seahawk
You
helicopter
know, where they
and leave
store our
Nimitz.
Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence and all that other stuff. It
Soon
flooded.
thereafter, Petty Officer
First time in
Voorhees has
history,
his
yeah.
own visit by unknown
Yeah, the
officials on the
levees, those
Princeton.
levees
Once they
are,
landed
you
and
know,
everybody got off,
are weak.
then about
Even if the
maybe 20
levees
minutes
hold,
later, I got called in to
you know, to
have
keep
all my
the
data recording tapes turned over.
Atlantic Ocean
And
out,
then
it's
I
not
was
the
also
draw.
told that I needed to
It's not
reload
going to
CEC
keep that
because it
the
had been
Mississippi
wiped.
River
So
from overflowing.
it was.
They put these big,
So
big,
I turned over all the
probably
tapes, and then they also
2-ton
said if there's any even blank
bags of
tapes to
sand
erase anything else that's
by
in the
each
shop.
manhole and each
Well, they
sewer
were plainclothes
drain
people that came aboard with the
because
helicopter.
they're so worried
It
that
was
they're going
my
to
chain of
back up
command
and
that
flood.
took control of the tapes from me. The helo
But
left with them after
they
that.
might stop
because
the
we went
water
right
from
back to
coming
flight
up from
ops.
there, but
The link between
that
the
could end
Tic
up
Tacs and
backfiring
these
on
men
them.
is unknown.
I could see
How they
sewage
became
pipes
aware
breaking.
of the UFO encounters and how they
I
arrived
don't
so
think they should
quickly on
have
board after
closed
the
those
event
off.
is also a mystery.
I don't think they thought that out too well.
The video
You
you are
block
now
all
watching
those to where the
is the
water can't
actual
come
gun
up,
camera FLIR
and
footage
the
of the
sewers are
Tic Tac
overflowing.
taken by a later flight.
Where's that water going to
This is
go?
the first
It's going to be
video
busting
ever
up the
released by the
sidewalks
U.S.
and
government
streets. And,
showing
hey,
military
you talking about
planes engaging
sinkholes. They're really
UFOs.
going to end up with issues with that.
The advanced targeting pod, known as ATFLIR, works in both
You
TV
know, but you
mode
got
and
these
infrared
conspiracy
mode.
theorists out there saying this is all
The film
man-made
reveals
and,
no control surfaces, no
you
exhaust
know,
fluid,
it's
a
costing the United
uniform heat
States
signature,
billions and
and
billions
no
and billions
visible
of
means of
dollars.
propulsion.
All these
Variety
catastrophes that keep
shipmates
happening.
saw the FLIR film on
And
their
the
consoles and on the secret LAN aboard the Princeton
food
There's a
cable.
much clearer
shortages,
video.
you
You
know, the
could see the
crops
shape of
being
the ship.
damaged,
You
the
could see it,
military bases being damaged,
moving. I tried to go and get a disc to come make
the
a copy of it.
the
And by the
railroads,
time I
the
got
rail,
back,
you
it was
know, the
already off
tracks
of
being damaged
off the
all through
secret
the
LAN.
United States.
Yeah,
The
no access to
infrastructure
it
is falling
whatsoever.
apart
Petty
for all these
Officer Jason Turner
catastrophes.
also saw
And
a
so that
much
doesn't
higher
benefit
resolution
them
version
if it
of the
was the
FLIR
government
film
trying to
showing strange
depopulate. It doesn't benefit
appendages
them to destroy
extending
their
from the object.
infrastructure
But
and
it
their
did have some
bases.
protruding at the bottom of it. I
Been
couldn't
three
tell if they were
cases just
curled
angers
back or
me
straight
that
down.
it's
Jason
actually
says the video was
scripture
approximately
playing out
10 minutes
for
in
people
length
want to
and
lie
much
because they
longer
want
than the video
clickbait,
that has been
and they
released.
know
I saw
people
this
would
video
rather
play,
believe
and
that
I'd ask him,
than
is
to
this what
believe the
we're
truth.
training, or what's part of this
And
training
they're
that we're
feeding
going
it to
through?
them,
And he
but you
said,
know what?
no,
They got to
this is
answer to
real
God
life.
for that. The ones
And
that don't know it and
when I
really
saw
believe
it, it was a
then that's
very
different.
clear
But the
image,
ones that know they're
a very clear
lying,
video,
know
and
that they're
this thing
feeding
was going
these
berserk,
lies to
like
people because they
making
want clickbait and they want to
turns
make
like
money, you know, off
it's
their
incredible.
commercials and
The amount of
people
G-forces that
donating
it
to
would put
them.
on a human
It's crazy.
that this thing
People are
was
paying
doing.
people to lie to
The
them.
jets
This is
were
almost over. And then
like
these
trying
people are
to
sitting
trail
back
this thing. It would
laughing
just
at
run
them,
off and
calling
like
them
it would
idiots.
just gone, and then it would come back, and then you would see it, and then it. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I was
they
saying
made
that
a
last night again. I said it
a
years
maneuver,
ago. Why
like they were chasing
rebuild
it
there?
straight on. It
New
was going with
Orleans is
them.
a
This
bowl.
thing
It's
stopped,
below
turned, and
sea
just
level.
gone. I mean, that's the only way
It's
to
below
describe
sea level. You
what it
got
looked
the
like.
Gulf there, and then you got the Mississippi River, and it's all New Orleans and all that sits below sea level. It makes
Just
no sense
11
to keep
years later,
rebuilding
fighter
there
jets from
because it's
USS
just a matter
Roosevelt
of time
filmed
each
this
time before
anomalous
one
object
of these
in
storms comes in and
2015.
wipes everything out. They're telling people in certain areas of Missouri
Like the
that they
Nimitz
can't
encounter,
rebuild.
they too were conducting routine
You know,
training when fleets of UFOs were
the
encountered by the
state's buying up
pilots.
the
The
land and telling them they can't rebuild because it's flooded too
Nimitz
many
encounters
times,
remained
and it
cloaked
has throughout
secrecy for
history.
over 13 years. The first-hand testimony about
So
UFO
it's
sightings
really,
is
you know,
practically
dumb to keep
unheard of
building
for
in those
military
places
service
where,
members.
you know,
Thanks to the brave and
makes
honest
no
accounts
sense.
of the sailors and naval
But
aviators who
eventually,
have come
it's going to be
forward
like
to
that
relate their
everywhere.
experiences
The
and
ground,
of the
we had to go to North
remarkable
Carolina
videos they
today,
filmed that day.
and the dismal
The silence
swamp
has been broken.
and
We've
all
dealt
the
with this
creeks
on
and
our own for
lakes
many, many
that I
years,
saw, every
and it
single one
was
of them
not
was
a
overflowing
very pleasant
already.
journey to go through.
If we get a
As no one really
storm,
believes you.
you know, any
But
little
now
rain, any
things
little
have changed,
thunderstorm
and
causes the
anyone out
streets
there
to
that's
flood out,
struggling with
and
this
they have to close out the
wants to reach
streets
out,
now, all the way down
there is
Sand
now a
Ridge
group
in
that you can
Virginia
reach out
Beach.
to
All
get
those
help
streets,
and
even down there by
support
my regular job that
and
I don't even know if
vindication.
I have
It's honestly
anymore.
been a little relieving to be able to actually talk about
They
it
have to
and
close out
how
half those
important that
streets
event really
when it rains,
was,
just
and
from thunderstorm now. It
not
didn't used to
just
be
keep
that way.
blowing
You
it
know, if we had
off.
a 4-day hurricane
There's
that
people out
stalled
here that really
and
need to know
dumped
and
rain
want to
for 4
know, and
days, then
you
we
have the
would have an
support
issue.
of
But other than that,
me and Kevin,
not no
the other my other
10-minute
shipmates that have
thunderstorm.
come
But now
forward.
10-minute
Decided to
thunderstorm
talk
can
about
drop
it.
9
My
inches of
role
rain.
is to describe the story and
You
convince
know, and a
people that yes, this
24-hour
event really happened and these
rainstorm
objects
can
were
drop
really real,
54 inches of rain.
but what they are, I
And
have no
Mexico
idea.
had 6
It
feet
is
of
something. I
hail,
want to know what it is.
a hailstorm.
That's the whole reason I
6
chose to
feet.
come
But
forward
this
to
is all
contribute
in
to the story,
scripture. This
because
was all
there is a
predicted,
story here. There is
you
more
know,
information here.
thousands of
The
years
more of us that
ago.
talk about it, the better chance of the full story coming together. And it's vindication for us that other people are looking into it, and you know, we finally tell our story, and
That are
people
losing their
listen.
time. Yes.
If you need to get a hold of us or would like to talk to any of us, Kevin, me, or any of the other guys that have come forward, there'll be an email address at the end
That's
of this
not
video
true.
that you can contact them and they can get a
That's
hold of
not
us.
true. It's not.
If
They're not
you or
getting help
someone
from
you
the
know
government.
has
That is
witnessed
not true.
unknown objects from military ships or planes, please contact us at the address on your screen. You can remain anonymous.
It's just like
As we
the
strive
horror
to
stories I've
understand
heard on
these
YouTube
encounters and
about
come to terms
when
with
Katrina
what they
hit and what
mean,
FEMA didn't
there's
do. Well, it's
something
funny.
far
You
beyond
know, a
the
lot of those
horizon
people got
and the limits
relocated
of our
here, and they still live
comprehension
here.
waiting. waiting for all of us.
The government did help them. Okay, I mean, um, Eventually, the government ain't gonna be able to help anybody because the government's losing now too. But oh, does it? Okay, let me look at it. Oops. Go to channel. Oh, it's not showing. Where'd it go? No, it's not showing it, Patrick. There we go. Sorry about that. It's showing some leaves. It still shows a P. Those project. I mean, I can see it on the tiny thing on the room, but I can't see it when I click on your name yet. You gotta it might take some time to show up if you just did it recently. Oh, absolutely, I agree, Daniel. Suzanne, hello, hello. Oh, let me minimize that. And let's take a look at the earthquakes while we're here. See what. Hi, Glenn. How are you? Yeah, I know. I saw it on the weather report earlier. Uh-oh, there's a big one right there that just happened. And that one is a 5.2 in Mexico. And this is one in Cali. So let's see. There was a big one here today, 6.0 in Papua New Guinea, but they always have big ones. And oh, here's a new one. This was in the red are in the last hour, and that's in Alaska, 2.5. You know, but Alaska has 1,000 earthquakes a month. At least there's no big one in Cali right now, but they did have some more fours today, which is concerning because okay, they look okay right now. So let's look at the severe weather map and see what's going on now. No, yeah, I know. You woke up at 3:30. Oops. Uh, Montana, Montana, Montana. We got a thunderstorm going on right now, but not severe. Man, I've seen some crazy clouds today. Well, Glenn, if you want to call in while the line is open, you're welcome to. Yeah, I enjoyed talking with Kevin and Charity, though. That was nice to hear from Charity for the first time. And both of them had interesting things to say. So it was nice to have new callers. And, wait, Skype did, oh, okay, it loaded. Yeah, so Skype is ready. Ooh, that was some bright, That was a bright flash of light right there. It wasn't even like lightning. That was like, that was thunder though. That was a super bright flash. You know, like big, like half the sky lit, not like a streak of lightning. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, we know lightning's going to be more severe. Um, the amount of rain, the amount of hail. Come on, 6 feet of hail in Mexico. And the hail that hit Florida like a month and a half ago. You know, where they had to call in snow plows to clear the road. They don't even have snow plows in Florida. But they had to shut down the highways. Yeah. Oh, you're funny, Patrick. Yeah, 'cause I'm not going to be up late tonight. I know that. You were taking pictures over here. You got a bright flash, dude. You could take a picture of the whole world with that flash. That was super bright. There was one during the day. The sun was shining and everything, and there was this bright flash of light in the sky. You could see it over the sun. The moon was really bright today while the sun was out, too. Used to be you could hardly see the moon. It looked like a, like a, it faded out kind of like a cloud, but, not nowadays. But Isaiah 30:26 tells us this. Um, so if we look at the space weather map today, everything's looking kind of cool for now. Um, no solar flares or anything, but it's not. It hasn't updated for the next 3-day forecast yet because we still got tomorrow to go through on the one that we had. Oh, wait a minute. This is where is thingamajig? Give me a second to pull it up to the top. All right. Oops, one more. Okay. There is a lot of total electron content though. If you watch this, this is still busy. You can't take any moon pics. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I can't either. They don't show up good on here. Oh, nice. I wish I had a nice camera. Cause y'all be amazed at some of the stuff I see here. I mean, amazed. I did take some crazy, uh, look like spiritual war type stuff going on in the sky again today. You notice the rain is everywhere now. Yes. Really, Patrick? Is that not common for y'all? Well, I mean that's fine, Glenn. You don't have to have uh, major observations and stuff to call in. 6 pics. Look, oh yeah, no, I've had that happen. It's because the light's so bright on it that I think it causes a glare. Because I've taken quarter moon pics and it looked like it was full in the picture. Oh, like, that's crazy. Because I mean, it was big, but it wasn't full, not even near full. I think there's so much energy and frequencies going on in our sky that it messes with the cameras. I need to pull up that video of that nuclear orange color sky again. But it's way back in my videos, like from last year. I have to dig in there to pull them up off of YouTube. I need to pull that one up and save it somewhere closer. Yeah, I said the skies were clear like mine last night. No, but I'm sure I've seen what you were talking about already. Because I've been seeing some crazy stuff at the moon for quite a while. See this right here. This is the total electron content of the U.S. for today. Even the dark blues, if you watch the color changes in here, that's on the scale here, and you see what the red is. That's all the dots we got. They are reporting up here now that the ocean off our coast is 10. Wow. Wow, Patrick. Yeah, do that, Glenn. No, and the auroras has gone down some because it got up to 51 yesterday, and it's gone back down. I think the highest now is like 38. Oh, or like I said, they still have another day. They'll update all this tomorrow and give a. I mean, some of this stuff stays up to date, but as far as the forecast goes, they've only got it forecasted until tomorrow, and then after that, they'll do another 3-day forecast. But like this stuff is up to date. It still does the 24-hour thing. That is 50 feet. Good gracious. Oh my gosh, you should have seen that flash of lightning. And behind that, or that flash in the sky, not regular lightning. Big, bright, white flash. and then behind that, then there was 3 pink flashes, but not not like strikes. It's like the whole sky lighting up. Oh, 50 feet. That is crazy. Oh, 50 Fahrenheit. Duh. Forgive me, Patrick. Ooh, look at that yellow one coming out right there. Here's the Earth. This is the one we're going through now, and then a new one starts to pop out. And hopefully the winds. Oh yeah, let me check the solar winds. But Glenn, yeah, the phone line is open. Yeah, I was multitasking and I saw 50F. So I thought 50 feet, but it would have been FT for feet. So yeah, my brain's not functioning properly. Okay, the solar winds are down to 438 km per second, kilometers per second. They were at 607, so that's good. And we're not in any CM warning, a CME warning for the next, till after tomorrow anyway. That's all we got up here. And then I'll do a new day forecast tomorrow, I guess. Now let's check the earthquakes while we're here. And California just had a 3.6. And like I said, they had some fours today. They had a 4.5, a 4.4, a 4.1, a 3.9, and they just had a 3.6 in Olancha, California. 0.7 kilometers. Really? I believe it. I mean, there's, a lot of activity in the sky, a lot of energy, a lot of frequencies. And we probably could find something in scripture to tell us about that too. But they wouldn't know how to explain it back then. Even if they saw it, they wouldn't know what they were looking at. Okay. No new warnings in weather. And I mean, telling us we're in a lightning storm right now. Really? Land will appear and disappear. The seas will roar. That's the 5.2 in Mexico. Then we had another one today in the northern mid-Atlantic ridge. And that earthquake that we had in Virginia had to hit like right here off our coast. Right here. So they said. That's where it was at. But anyway, Oh yeah, I think the phone line is open for now. Oh, it just showed me I missed your call. Why? How did I miss your call? I'm sorry, Glenn. I didn't hear it ring. Try again. I'm looking at it, so I should see it. Oh, it's showing me missed calls. Oh, Glenn knows the number he's called. He's trying to call. It just showed I missed his call twice, but it didn't ring. So, but yeah, you're right. I thought the number. Thanks for reminding me, Patrick. Where is my number? That's always supposed to stay on top. There we go. Oops. Glenn, you want to try again, or you want me to call you? I don't know why it didn't ring. Huh? Oh, yeah, thank you. All right, let me try to call him. I don't know, the phones were acting up last night. It kept hanging up on, what's his name? Kevin Brown in New York. And then, now it's just, now it's just ringing on his end.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic message system 4735.
Blah, 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 blah. I don't like. All right, Glenn, I tried to call you, but went to voicemail. See, it shows I missed him at 10:31 and at 10:34. He must have been trying to call me at the same time I was calling him. Glenn, can you hear in the room? Glenn. Oh, yeah, to get your. Yeah, you got time to do it? Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Good evening. How are you?
Oh, sorry about all that, man. Yeah, I'm good, but I don't know if it's just me, but I think some fiasco every now and then trying to do things, especially, I don't know, I don't want to get sound crazy, but it's just, it's where I live. Everything's weird. Like, normally, any number that's in my phone, like yours, I and I was looking for it, like, when did I call that? I forgot it, so I'm flipping and I find it. Any other number, when I find it, I push it. It tells me when I last called, and it's just numbers, and it says create contact, and I can always put it off. I was going to finally do it, put your name on there, so I keep doing that.
Uh-huh.
Just won't let me do it. Like my phone, absolutely, just for your number, refuses to let me. I was trying everything. I've done it a million times. You just I've even put names to the spam, like no answer, or it's nonsense, or it's selling insurance. It's hit the number and give you options to create a contact name. But for you, I could not do it. Wouldn't. Every time I try to do it, it would dial your number. And I'm like, what is going on? It's little things like that I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not tech savvy, but it only seems to be related to anything that is that we talk about.
Right.
Anything else is fine. I didn't read too much into it. But anyway, I finally, when you called me back, I took that and it worked. But it's like, why can't I go back last week and push your number and add your name to it? I can do it with any other number. I look at things like that, and I feel like somebody's messing with me. I seriously do. It's no big thing, but it's the same thing as my third time going to this local church. All three times, and maybe I'm already jinxing myself, but for the third week in a row, I woke up plenty in time and thinking, well, ain't no way I can be late. I take 20 minutes to walk, and take a shower, I'm dressed, I'm actually sitting here for an hour, I don't even have to leave yet. And then one last thing will pop up, and I'll be fumbling and scrambling around, whether it's my keys or whether it's whatever. And then it's like I'm running up there, late the first time, almost late the second time, and I got up so darn early the last time that there's just no way. But I have all kinds of issues, strange things. Now that's what I said. I don't, like go off on, like what's up with this guy. But I swear to you, simply, they don't care how you dress. But I want it to look as a little decent. I don't have dress clothes, but I picked up a pair of dark colored shoes that I have out of my collection, and I go to put them on, put one on, and I reach over for the other one that was just there, and it's not there, and I'm like, where'd it go? And I sat down here, I got a hurt foot, so I'm trying to pick stuff there. And I can't find it, and I'm like, no way, I ain't gonna let, something vanish. I don't know what went on with it, but I looked, finally I just gave up, said, screw it, I'll grab another one. So I grabbed another dark pair, darker colored, they're all Adidas, by the way. But, I'm going to church, so I try to find a less colorful or whatever, so I grabbed another pair that are pretty comfortable. And did the same thing. Came in here, sat down, sat on both next to me on the bed. My things are organized. And I come in here and go, okay, they're both here. And I take off the other one that I had lost, the matching one, and set it up on the bed. And then that second pair that I had just grabbed, now one of them was gone. And I'm going, well, now I have two non-matching ones yet again. It's just, I don't know if I'm losing my mind or what's going on. And then I'm scrambling around and clock's ticking, and I'm like, I was 2 hours ahead. Now I'm barely going to make it again. It took me another 20 minutes to go in there and find out that the two matching that appeared to me to vanish were back up on the shoe shelf, some oddball place that I didn't put them there as far as I know. It's just some weird strangeness going on. It seemed like for 3 straight weeks I've had it in my head, something or somebody does not want me to get up there. Which just motivates me all the more. I was about to walk up there with two mismatched shoes, I swear. That's how silly that it's things all around here. Now, they used to be pretty obviously in your face, just weird. And now it's just stuff like that. And it could be me, but I don't think it is. I think it's something strange. I buy into a little more things that are possible than a lot of people. But my Beyonce, whatever she is, she saw all this stuff occurring. But she'll talk about it now. And it was happening, believe me. She was, she don't believe anything else that I say. That she cannot deny, but she won't talk about it. She won't bring it up. She's trying to suppress it, which is fine. I don't like to talk about it much either. I don't know what it is. But that's not what I called for. There were little things that have happened before. Some strange things have happened. Just say, found this channel. I think I told you on my first call that the birds were getting upset, which they never do at this time of night, and the cage was making was rattling, and I think I told you that when I first time I called you. It happens a lot when I'm in deep prayer too, and especially on the days that I come across something that really feels inspiring and that really weird electrical feeling when a certain verse just
Right.
hits you all of a sudden. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right. When things like that happen, I'll get some kind of weird distraction, like a big bang in my living room. Which, obviously people that complain in the wing, well, things fall. But I go in there and my fireplace poker, which has been unmoved and sitting where it's been for 2 years. Why is it suddenly in the middle of my living room floor, crashed down from, the mantle at that very moment? I just find stuff like that strange. I'm not claiming anything. I'm not getting into ghosts or whatever. I call them anomalies. I call them spiritual anomalies. And that's the farthest I'm going. But something else I wanted to point out, and this is really you're probably like that's just stupid, but I swear it's not. About a year ago.
Hey, Glenn.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you to call back because apparently we have an echo and
Yeah, I don't have it on my end, but
I don't hear it either. But Patrick said it's a bad echo, so maybe we have
yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it in the chat. Yeah, maybe I'll redo it and usually that'll reset it. Yeah, I can do that. It's not even important about last night, but last night I just wanted to point out something, but then you said you couldn't see it. All right, I'll call you back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know the computer did an update. I did an update before I started the show, and so it may have something to do with the update. I don't know if it updated Skype or not. So I've tried all the other things that I normally do to fix the echo, and I don't know. So we'll see if it's connection. Hopefully it'll. I don't know. I know there was audio sounds to start with because I didn't hear the phone ring twice. I can go into the. I shouldn't have to do that though. I shouldn't have to go into the settings for Skype because it was all working properly before. I don't on his phone. I don't know. But normally, I haven't changed any settings on mine, and I've had his calls before, and everything was okay. So I don't know why it's acting up now. It does look a little high there. See, it's set to automatically adjust. So maybe it's the speakers. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll try it with that. Maybe it set them back to default when it did the. Oh no, he was calling from his phone. Oh, you mean the volume down. Oh, well, probably so, because I didn't hear an echo here. And usually if the person has their volume turned up, I'll hear the echo too. And I didn't hear an echo. Hello, Glenn.
Hello. You know what I thought of? Ask him if it's better. See what they say now.
Is that
But I
better,
don't.
Patrick?
Never. Yeah, I use my speakerphone usually. It's the first time I ever put it up to my head, so maybe that was it.
I don't know.
I usually do it. I do it this way. I'm talking to the speaker. I never hold the phone in my head, but I just did it. That just
Yeah, I
time.
can hear you better now, but I wasn't getting an echo, but it was just a little hard to hear. No,
Well,
it's
he's
still
telling
not
he's
good.
junk too, and I'm telling you, this phone does a lot of strange things for a lot of strange reasons. I don't know if it's just the technology. I hate it though. It's gotten really bad. I can watch nonsense all I want, but if something is once a week, I go, well, oh yeah, I want to check this out, or I really want to. I have all kind of problems. I've got that in my head that weird things are going on with the phone, and so obviously I'll manifest that, whether it's weird or not weird. I just believe it. But something I noticed today, and I've been saying this to even when my girlfriend was here, started noticing, because we live right by 95. I mean, 20 feet. So it's like I got 95 basically rolling through my house 24 hours a day, and it never stops. I mean, it's literally 25 feet from me. So it's roaring north and south, day and night. But I'm used to it. You know how that goes. However, I would see occasional accidents like you're going to see, and every now and then it'd be a major something might even make the news. A tractor trailer or something like that flips over occasionally, and when that happened, I could just look out my window and I see that the traffic's sitting still. Now that used to happen occasionally, but I started noticing about a year ago, and I don't know how this ties into the what's going on in the heavens or whatnot, but I'm starting to think that it's related, because it went from occasional. Now I understand there's going to be accidents on 95 every day,
Yeah.
but I've noticed now going on a year that we have 1 to 2 to 3 now, and it's always the same. Okay, it's every day now. I said this a year ago to her. What's going on now? Every single day, I get an update or alert on my phone, and it says a big rig has slipped or caught on fire or spilled something. These are starting to become very frequent, and they're always no further than maybe a mile or two from us. That's the funny thing. Like at the crosstown or some intersection that you see pick up in the morning, check the roads before you head to work, you'll see there's an accident here or there's something blocking here. No, this is every day. I can't say every day. I should have been writing it down, but it seems almost every day it's consistent. There was 2 or 3 today, and I look at them, and they're right down the street from me. They're always a mile away. It's a big one today, a big some kind of big truck. It's a FedEx truck. It's an Amazon truck. It's a UPS truck. It's a oil truck. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 a day, and they're always a mile that way north, or maybe a mile or 2 that way. And the one today, if you can probably look it up, about 10 big giant truck flipped over, all kinds of bedlam, everything backed up, cars. And I'm thinking, this is every single day. And then what made me think something weird was about it was someone had an article saying, if you notice, this is a pretty cool dude. He's a Bible channel. I stop by occasionally and see what he's talking about. But he was saying, that all of this tied together, because it seems to be recently a lot of plane crashes, not really big ones, but just in general, in the last year or so, have you noticed? That's what he was saying. Have you noticed a lot more planes crashing? And then he went through all these reports that he had, queued up, boom, 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 here and there, and plane. And it's like thinking, yeah, it seems like there's been a lot of issues lately with planes crashing for whatever reason, mega, but fire, landing, just whatever. Some things be going on that, and then it made me think, I was saying that a year ago about the truck. I mean, could something, I don't know what I'm even referring to. I mean, why would, I'm not saying to report something that happening. I got my window and it is, but what is suddenly causing such bedlam
Can you
with
hear
the
me?
big trucks? I think it's related, just like he was pointing out the plane. Why are they so many, such an increase, with these issues,
Right.
increase with. But you even have any clue what I'm kind of trying to insinuate, that something is has just ramped up. It seems to all be connected. That's kind of what he was saying.
Right.
The weather, the issues with the sun, moon, and the stars. It seems to all be connected. In his eyes, he was saying, all these reports of plane issues and landing and taking off and whatever. And then it hit me that, I told her a year ago, I'm not crazy. This has increased. And she's like, well, what are you saying? Why would this area have more truck issues than anywhere else? I don't know.
Right.
No idea. It's just, it's noticeable, though. It's very noticeable when, I check it constantly, and it goes from once a week to every single day. It's very noticeable, day after day after day. But that's not what I called for. Last night, all I really wanted to say was hoping you could go out and see what I was looking at. Because I went out, and it was super clear last night. It was spotless, and we never hardly get that.
Right.
I mean, it was dark blue, dark black, whatever you want to call it. It was going to get, with a couple of neighbors having lights on. And I knew it was going to be like that. Not a cloud, not a chemtrail, it was just clear. I was thinking, man, and the sun went down, and it was just absolutely spotless clear. So I didn't know what the moon was doing. I hadn't kept up with it for a while, but when I went out about an hour before I got on here, it was right coming over the back of my place, perfectly clear, and like we were talking, super hurting my eyes, right. So I get my binoculars, and I didn't get the scope out. I should have, but the mosquitoes were horrible. So I just looked, and as it's been for a year, looking through the binoculars, you see that glare and that halo, and it literally was hurting my eye, just like we were discussing, about the passage, and everyone, we noticed brighter, way brighter. It never hurt my eyes like that. It was just like looking at a darn welding torch that you see spots. I mean, that's how bright it was, and that's nothing new, not for us anyway.
Right.
But what I did see that was different, since it was, I don't know what you call it, it was about a halfway full moon. You could see it cut down the middle, basically, kind of an angle. And y'all were talking about it a little bit last night. But I don't know if everybody sees exactly the same thing in different areas. But what I noticed, other than the brightness, I could see everything until it cut off, right about in the middle. That was all normal looking. The brightness is not normal to me. It's not. But it has been. But what I noticed last night that I've never seen was on the side that was lit up, that's too bright, that right on the edge. That's where I was hoping you could go out and look at and tell me that you did saw it or you didn't. The corner of the lit side was right, like if I took a pencil and went around the lit part of the moon, and like if I could go along it, right there on the very, what I call the edge of the lit side, it looked even brighter than the rest of the moon, like just on the circle, like if I was to draw it in. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. The far right side that was lit how it's circular, it's like it's supposed to be. It was like even brighter than the rest of them. And I have never seen that outline. I guess call it the outline, assuming we were drawing a circle. The outline just on the right hand side, like the edge was even brighter than the rest of it. It stood out like so easily. I didn't even have to use the binoculars. I'm like, why is there a line? Whatever you call a half circle. I ain't good at geometry. That part was even suddenly even brighter than the rest of it. It was bizarre, totally weird. I wish I could have filmed it because I would have had a picture of a half moon. It would have been really bright, and then the very edge on the right side would have been about 5 times even brighter. And I've never seen that. So that's brand new for me, and I've been watching it for 40 years. Never seen it have like a thin half circle of evens. It was like fluorescent. I just don't know what could cause that little teeny strip to be even brighter still.
Right.
And the whole thing is still was super white and bright last night. I mean, it like it hurt my eye. I mean, I looked for 3 or 4 minutes and I saw spots for the whole time coming back in, getting on here, asking you, did you have clear skies? I was still like going, oh, couldn't even, actually I can't even see out of my one eye, because I usually shut one eye. I try to use both eyes, and I gotta focus the right hand part of the binocular and get them all tuned together. So I'll just look through one and do it that way. But yeah, so my left eye is like totally black. Come in, I can't see nothing, and I've never had that be the case with the moon. So I mean that's old though. We covered this, but yeah, that little extra outline was totally weird. I was wondering if anyone else that was in the chat maybe that could see it.
No, but I've seen it
If I could have.
before.
Yeah, I was going to ask them, man, did you all notice that the right little outline of the lip part is about 10 times brighter than the other 50%
Yeah. Yeah.
that we can see? Like something was lighting it up from behind it,
Yeah.
from the other side, or from that side, which obviously is, I don't believe the sun's doing it. And that, I haven't seen that in a while. But that would be impossible. The sun
Well, it
gone
could.
down to the west hours ago, and the moon's just getting over from the east. So I don't know what the light went from the backside. I
I
just
don't
think the
know,
moon
but
itself is.
Scripture tells us that the moon's going to be brighter, and there's sign. Some of it tells us that there's going to be signs in the moon, the stars, and the suns, and it doesn't explain all of them. But we just
Well,
happened,
I mean, a lot
we
of
just
places, a lot
happened
of places,
to find that
I
one in
couldn't bring this
Isaiah
up.
about the brightness, but it doesn't explain all the stuff.
No, that's what I mean. A lot of, if I brought this up in other places, it would get into a debate on what the moon is. Then we'd get back to the moon is self-illuminating. No, it's the sun reflecting. And all. I don't want to even cover that. That to me, that's irrelevant to what we're perceiving and what's causing it. No one, I don't know what the moon is, and I don't think the sun. That's not the sun's light whatsoever. That's just my personal belief. And under
Right.
the flat Earth and what the moon is and isn't, and how far away it is. Everyone can disagree on that, and I could care less. I don't believe it's what I was told years ago, but that's irrelevant. The point is, whatever it is, it has gotten brighter. That's all we're worrying about here in this group, and that's way better than having someone comment, that you're stupid for saying it's not the sun. You're, stupid when you say this or that. I don't care, I don't know why it's out there in the day so much anymore.
Right.
Someone pointed out, and I don't know if they're correct, that it was in the sky yesterday all day, and it set, and it's done that before, and then it came back up last night. And I don't know if that was the case or not. I didn't go look yesterday during the day. And then someone else I saw that was a moon watcher said the moon came up over there. I stood still for 4 hours and didn't go anywhere, and they've never seen that happen. Now, this was just a random person. I
Right.
didn't keep up with it. I don't know if that's the case or not. Usually it makes its route over, and, I've seen it set at 6 a.m. I've seen it set, I'll go down out of my sight all different times. And I don't know how that works, and I can't say it's changed, but I bet it has.
Right.
And then someone tonight on, because that's all I really look for now is just individuals that put up videos of their sun coming up or going down. I saw an interesting, someone did, this morning, I don't know who did it, forget, but this morning they were filming the sun rising, and they saw a kind of normal looking sunrise, and then there was what appeared to be a totally separate sun coming up a little bit, away from that so-called sunrise this morning. One had a more lighter color, and one was more yellow. I forget where it was at. And it appeared to be they were just using a phone or something, or a camera maybe. But it was a strange video, and they were
Right.
just like, I don't know what the heck this is. It looks like two separate sunrises, one yellowish and one whitish. And that was kind of strange, but I don't know what came of that, like, after sunrise. And, somebody else. Oh yeah, that was the same person that said that the moon stood over their house in the same spot for 4 straight hours last night. I can't prove if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. And nothing would surprise me anymore.
Right.
I've been walking to the store weeks ago. It wasn't weeks ago, I think, and I noticed the sun was out about 11 in the morning, right dead in the middle of my sky. And I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, I don't know when I'll see it again. But I never did know my phases. I can't say I was ever up on exactly what it's supposed to be doing. But it is strange to me to see it in a day and it so-called sets or goes away, and then I see it again at night. That doesn't seem a little strange, but I can't say that that's abnormal. I'll look it up, and it'll probably tell me that that's normal. But I don't know. It's just doing all kind of weird things, if you ask me. And I've slacked up on my every single night and every single morning, taking notes and patterns. And that's what I was doing a couple of years ago. And I do still have that stuff.
Right.
So I'm glad. But I got rid of a lot. My phone started telling me I was out of space years ago, and I had to get rid of a ton of videos. So first I sacrificed all the hours of so-called paranormal videos that I had on my phone, and I really didn't want that stuff on there anymore anyway. I was getting sick of, people that called me crazy, going, well, check out this, and going through it all, because I felt like that somehow something or whatever enjoyed me doing that. I was giving it attention, whatever it was called. And I had some pretty amazing, crazy videos that if you didn't know me, you would say, if I put it on YouTube, before I wouldn't have never, people would have said that, obviously, he faked all that stuff, but I didn't. Some of it was that in your face crazy, with stuff moving, and just weird orbs and corresponding to things falling, flying,
Right.
and moving. I just did all of it. I didn't prove anything. I'll tell the story. You believe me. Yeah, actually, I don't even like to say much about it. I don't want to give it any strength, whatever it is. It has to be something positive for all I know. But I decided it wasn't because a lot of my stuff was breaking and my expensive electronics were being sabotaged. So I couldn't see no way that was positive. Unless people want to say, God was telling me to stop messing with them. Well, it was a harmless hobby. Now, when the lottery, I told you, when I got kind of hooked on the lottery years ago, and I was blowing through some money, man, it got to the point where, I think I told you this, every day I would wait, because I'd be working on these numerology charts. And I mean, and it was fascinating to me what these numbers were doing. every day when I'd have plenty of time to get up there before 2 o'clock, just playing the daily three. You know, I was spending between 10 and 20 bucks a day doing it, which is so stupid because I don't even have that now. That's probably why. But yeah, every day I had some kind of incident. I couldn't find my keys. I couldn't find my wallet. Or I'd be all set up, something else would happen. And I'd lose the ticket. And I'd go, what the heck? My notebook would be gone. It was every day I was missing. And the funny thing is, a lot of times when it was really strange to me, somebody was telling me or didn't want me to go, I couldn't even know how to read that. Is this an angel or a good spirit telling me, hey, you not should be doing this? And so they were causing it, or was it something bad saying? Because most of the days that I had these weird things happen and I would miss it, my number would come in and I would sit there all mad and upset, and it just went on for quite a while.
Hey,
And
Glenn.
even my girlfriend, she used to point out something's telling you not to do this. But I'm thinking, yeah, you're just saying that because you don't want me to spend money. But yeah, it was weird. I tell you, it was. And finally, I just stopped, and I shouldn't have been ever doing it. And, I think it was not good to do. And yeah, now I'm poor, and I go in there and see people spending 200 or 300 bucks, and I feel bad for them. But people will point out that used to be you, man. Don't judge them. I'm like, oh, I'm not judging them.
Right. Hey, Glenn. Hold
Yeah.
hold on a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me say hi to Charity. She just came in the room and she asked a question.
Okay, yeah, and that's really all I had to say anyway. That's last night. It was not even important. I just wanted anyone else to pop their head out and say, I can see it right now, and
Right.
I don't see no deep extra brightness on the right side.
No, I've seen
Simply
that. I've
someone could
seen
do
that
that.
several times, and sometimes it's actually blue. That line, instead of
Yeah, I
it
remember
being
you
bright
saying
white,
that.
it'll be blue. Yeah.
Well, last night the tone changed too. 'Cause in between that guy that talked to you for quite a while, what was his name? You said?
Which one, Spinny? Or you talking about last night, Kevin? Kevin
Yeah,
Brown
Kevin.
in New
Yeah,
York? Yeah.
yeah. I came and went a few times, and when I checked again, probably 3 hours later, and now that I think about it, that guy might be onto something because I looked at that moon at 10, 9, 10. I checked it again. It was probably 2 because y'all went late, and it was no big thing. Yeah, I actually remember now that I think about it, it didn't move like it should have because it was in the same spot every time I went out to look. No, it got less white last night. Later, a little bit less white bright, but it turned kind of a yellowish color.
It was
But it
setting
didn't look
then. It was getting close. It was getting close to setting.
yeah, but now that I think back on just that, yeah, it wasn't out in front of my place. It was right where I saw it when I first got a hold of you. Yeah, so that kind of might be on to something that it did kind of stay in the same spot. But yeah, I go on my porch. It starts out coming over the trees behind me from the east, and it sets west just like the sun. But yeah, I didn't look out on front. Usually it can come over them trees and then in
Well,
an
yeah, but see,
hour
it's
it
been
can.
rising during the day right now, so it's setting. Um, and it's setting in the middle of the night. Like I haven't even checked the time for the
Well,
the rise
I
and
think
set.
our skies will be too murky tonight. They were black, but even yeah, right about now it should be just above my house, off to the left, just over the trees.
It should be
And
close to
on the
setting because it's been out all day.
That's what I mean. That's what I find odd. If it was out all day yesterday, why was it coming up over the trees from the east just like a brand new rising moon last night at 9 o'clock? Did it do a full cycle and start over last
No,
night?
it should have been. No, it should have been close to setting.
I can see tonight.
I have to check the
Cleared
moon,
up.
the moon rise and set time, but um, yeah, I know that it was out all day yesterday, and it was out all day today. Well, not all day, but I definitely noticed it at noontime, so it definitely should be setting around midnight, somewhere around there.
Well, not how long it takes normally when I see it for it to go all the way across the sky and go down to the west. I'm gonna go look right now real quick. Even though it's murky and cloudy, I can usually see it trying to get through the clouds. I'm
Oh
gonna see
yeah, we
because I
can
know
even
right
see the
where.
stars through the clouds a lot of times now. That's why I said they're vapors. I think that's part of scripture when it says we'll see vapors and pillars of smoke in the sky.
Okay, well, it's still cloudy, but I'm looking exactly where it was last night, and I'm only about an hour later,
That's
and
about
it's
right
not
then.
there. Usually I'm on my front porch, and I'm looking at the trees, which are block my sunrise and moonrises to the east, and it's not even where it was last night, which is right up, barely up over those. And it's not, it's actually clear where it would be setting at. I don't see it anywhere. So how can it be absolutely not in the sky tonight? Last night it was right above me,
I don't
which
know
is
because
not even halfway to
it
the
was in
setting
my
point.
it was in
And it
my
was,
sky all day, and it was in my sky at 7:30 tonight. But it was heading
well, yeah, well,
towards.
I always noticed in the past, if I saw it in the middle of the sky in the day, then I probably wasn't going to see it at night until, later in the month or whatever. But how could it have been right above me last night? Because I came out here at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, and it was right above my place. And that's a lot more way for it to go down in the west over there, which I'm looking now, and it's not nowhere there. And if it, like you say, if it's already went down today, and it's not coming out tonight until tomorrow, then how was I seeing it right above me all night last night? I find that strange from one night to the next.
Well, I don't. I would have to look at the time that
They
it
need to
rose.
check on it more, especially on the clear nights like I had last night. Yeah, because I don't know what that extra brightness was, and now I'm questioning if it even should have been where it was last night at all. I
Well,
don't see it nowhere,
well,
and that's probably normal. But if that's the case, last night was absolutely abnormal because you know what time I checked in last night and said, "Hey, what's your skies look like?" And I just got done looking at it. It's raining here now, and then I waited a while, came back and looked and said it's still like that, and I went back and checked back in with you, and came back out later, and I kept checking on it. It finally got kind of a dimmer white. Finally, turned
that's
kind
when
of
it's
yellowish,
that's when
and
it's getting
I didn't
ready to
notice that
set.
extra whiteness. But yeah, it didn't really move across the sky last night, and I don't know how where it ended up and going away. But yeah, that's an oddity in itself.
Well, the moon doesn't
But
rise.
yeah, it's clear to the west right now. There's white clouds, but to the east of me, it's too murky to really see anything. So I'm gonna go back in. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of a little bit mixed up now on what the moon should be doing because I didn't go out today to see it.
If you go to time date US, well, you go to timeanddate.com and or you can go to timeanddate.com US and your location, your city, and it'll give you the exact time it rises and the exact time it sets and the position of it each day because the position as far as the way it travels changes. And sometimes
Yeah,
it
well,
doesn't
that's
even
what I mean,
cross
and
the
I've never
median.
learned that in my
Sometimes it
40
doesn't even
years of
get
looking
center in
at
the
it.
sky. So yeah, but if you go to timedate.com, it'll always give you the sunrise and sunsets. And
Yeah, well, I have done that, but I might do it tonight to see what time it's supposedly set here. But I don't know if it'll let me know about last night. So the way
yeah,
I'm
it shows you
thinking
the
is,
whole month.
it shouldn't even have been where it was last night. Then does it change that much in one day?
No.
Because last night at 10 o'clock, it was barely. It had come up in the east like it always does, and where I was seeing it at 10 o'clock is about where it should be. If it rose about, I don't know, if it came up about 7 or 8,
Oh, no,
it
no,
makes
no,
it.
no, no. It was up all day yesterday. It was setting.
Well, yeah, I didn't go out to see that, but I believe you. Then that means it went on down during the day, and had to come back up to the east
No,
and be right above my
no.
place at 10 o'clock last night. If I look that up, would it tell me I'm crazy? I
It
don't
was
know.
up yesterday during the day. I'm not sure what time it came up, but I know that it was up while I was out yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, but not today.
So
But
then
I wish I would have looked, or maybe I still can.
it's up
See where
anywhere.
it should have been last night.
It's up anywhere from 10 to 12 hours when it went from rise to set. And
Yeah, well, I
each
know
day it's
generally that,
anywhere
but
from 35 minutes to an hour and 5 minutes difference in when it rises and sets. Like,
yeah, well, that varies, but not that much. So today was probably in the day sky as well, right?
yeah, it's going to be in the day sky for a while because it's only going to progress. The time it rises is only going to progress 35 minutes to 45 minutes this time of year.
So without me trying to go look it up, just from what you're telling me, because I haven't really been keeping up with it at all lately. I don't think it sounds like it should have been out last night between 9 and
Yeah, it should
2
have.
a.m.
Yeah, if it didn't rise till noon yesterday, then yeah, it still should have been out. I didn't
At
look
10
at what
o'clock at
time it.
night.
Yeah, I didn't look at what time it rose, but if it rose at noon yesterday, then yeah, 10 o'clock it should have still been out.
Yeah, I'm just thinking though. Normally, when I am planning a night to go off with my scope, I see it in the distance. Sometimes I'll see it starting to crack to the east. Let's say about 8, and I'm like, well, it's going to take it 3 hours before it's above and right above me in my front yard, and I'll get all set up, and then I'll watch it. Sometimes from 9, 10, 11, all the way until sometimes 3 in the morning, and it'll be headed to the west, and I'll go to bed, and sometimes I've gotten up and it's just starting to disappear 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and I'm like, goodbye, and then I'll see it later that night. But last night, like I said, it kind of was right above me when I looked at 10 and came in to tell you, and then a couple hours later I went out, and it was still there, but it had gotten less bright, and then I think I checked one last time. That was around 1-ish, and it was still pretty much just right above me. And then I don't know what it did. I mean, it had to go down. And then you said it was in the day sky. So yeah, I got to get more in tune with the cycles of it, because I don't know why it's not. Well, it could be clouded out. It is. We are really cloudy. I can't
Yeah.
say it's not. It should be right there as I look above me right now, right in my face, because it's
Well,
around
it
the same
shouldn't be
time
right
last.
above you. Well, I don't know exactly where you're at, but it should be close to setting. So it should be um, off towards the west.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that appears to be clear, but that could be just in my line of sight. It could be clear. It could a mile from here. It could be storms could be brewing and blocking it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
there's
if
a
it's
lot
on
of
its way down
storms
right
on the
now,
East
that's weird,
Coast.
because
A
it wasn't
lot of
like that last
storms.
night. It wasn't. It wasn't even close to going down to the west last night at 11 p.m. That's what my whole point. I was on here listening to you and going in and out around this time, and it was just above me, which is not even a quarter of its path. And I don't know. Without checking like you say, the official rise and set, I shouldn't even comment
Are
anymore.
you?
But I know
Can you see the chat room right now?
No, I got to go
Okay.
back
Well,
to
I
it.
just pulled up the weather map, and just about 3/4 of the East Coast is covered in heavy storms.
Yeah, well, I
And
can. That's what I saw earlier before the sunset. Our skies were black, and then it just opened
yeah,
up,
well, right
man.
now you're
And
covered in heavy storms too. So
so yeah, it's probably wherever it's supposed to be right now, and I just can't see it. My only thing I'm trying to point out is I don't understand from last night to tonight how it could be any different. Last night around between 9 and at least 9 and 1, it didn't go much anywhere. It was right above me, which, like you say, you don't know where I'm at, but just think about me as I'm on 95, so and I got trees that are there, which I
Well,
can't
all
see
I
the
can tell
sun
you
coming
is
up.
that when it's high in the sky, when it seems like it stays in the same spot a long time, but that's because it's got a lot of sky to cover when it's high up.
Yeah, and then it
It
must
doesn't seem to
appear
move
to,
fast until when it's rising and when it's
and then it
setting,
speeds up
it seems to move
kind of
fast.
quickly.
But that's because it's so much closer to us then. But once it gets, further up, it seems like it takes all day. Just like, how it looks like a plane is moving real slow and it's
Yeah, but I
really
can
moving.
remember a few summers ago, and it was probably June and July. I used to look at the moon at night with my scope, and then put it all away and go to bed at midnight. And then when my girlfriend would get up for work and leave at 5:30, it would just be on the west horizon on its way down, and I would look at it again, and then it would go away, and then I'd check it out that night. When it had come back up for a few hours around 10 or 11, pretty much like it's doing now.
Right.
And I kind of was more in sync. But last night was strange to me, just only because of the extra brightness that we've talked about, and I saw an even second anomaly, which was just a little thin strip on the edge, seemed yet even brighter, like something was causing it right on the edge to be even more bright. I mean, we go on forever about how it's not exactly what we remember, but I don't have a photographic memory, and I never knew the phases, I do generally. I used to know the times of years, and like my birthday is the shortest day of the year, and I've kind of gotten used to what the sun is supposed to do. And not do. But a lot of times, that time of year, you can't see much in December 21st, especially where I was living. It was always cloudy and possible to use a telescope almost in Michigan for all them years. But down here, growing up here, I never kept up with any of the phases and times of year. I just when I saw the moon, I tried to check it out, and I didn't keep charts, and I never learned it. Even so-called scientifically, but I think it's doing a lot of things. It freaked me out 2 years ago. One morning or one afternoon on the AM radio, I saw the moon out in the day, and it was really bright. You could totally see it against the blue sky, and the sun was out. The moon was only a little bit in front of the sun, actually. They were pretty close together, and I was like, it's in my day sky. Okay, no big deal. But then somebody in, where were they at? Australia, which is almost clean around the other. He was like, well, it's nighttime here right now. I forgot what it was. It was, I don't know, I think it was 11 in the morning here, and it was evening where he was, and he's like, well, it's in my dark evening sky right now, and I see the full. It was a full moon, and I said, well, it's a full moon right now in my early morning sky, and he was like, that's weird, and we looked it up, and they said that was impossible. Somebody on the East Coast of in Virginia could not be seeing the full moon in the daytime at the same time that wherever this guy was in Australia, because he punched it up. He says, well, Google's telling us we're both crazy, that I can't be seeing it in my night sky right now if you're seeing it in your day sky in Virginia. And I found that strange, and that was 2 years ago. I'm like, well, somebody's not telling me the truth here, and we're not both crazy. He's seeing it as a beautiful full moon in his night dark sky, and I'm seeing it a full moon in my totally blue day sky. And then Google told us we couldn't be seeing it. Absolutely no way. And I'm like, well, somebody's lying
No,
here.
what y'all needed to do was go to timedate.com and you look up the time it was supposed to be here, and he look up the
Well,
time it
I
was
don't know
supposed to be.
where he went. He just told me I punched it on, and he seemed to be computer savvy. He goes, I just punched it in, and
Computer
it
savvy
says
doesn't
that.
mean he knows of the website to go to. I'm just saying. And then there's
Well,
a
yeah,
time
maybe, but the
difference.
thing was,
Then
he
there's a
told me a
time
couple of
difference
times that
too. You have to realize that where was he at?
he was somewhere in Australia.
Australia
He
is
just made a
14
general
hours
comment.
difference. Australia is 14 hours difference from us. So you're not seeing it at the same time because it's 14 hours difference. When it's day here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did say that. He told me what time it was and that it was dark out. He had the full moon, and he was looking at. He looked out and he could see a full bright moon and stars. And we didn't go too in depth.
He's almost a day ahead of us. So yeah.
So, but it's just weird to think about it that he's in total darkness around halfway around the world, and we're looking at the same moon, except my skies are daytime and
But
his
you're
are
not
night.
looking at the same. You're not looking at the same moon.
Well, no, I mean the same. It is the same moon,
but it's 14 hours difference.
Well, what I mean is it's not a totally different one. I mean, I'm not looking at like there's 50 moons. Yeah, it's the same, supposedly the
but
same
I'm saying
light,
it's
right?
15 hours different. So you're not looking at the same moon. His moon, the moon you're looking at had already set where he was at. He's looking at another day's moon because it's
you know
14
what I mean.
hours difference.
You're not insinuating that they're all different.
No, it's the
same
same
one that moves
moon,
around.
but his was a day ahead of you.
Yeah, I get that, but he was just saying wherever he punched it in, they were just saying there's no way two individuals, one in Virginia at 1 p.m. could be seeing the same full moon.
Oh, well, let me guess. Google is always right.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean, you know,
I don't know if
it depends on what website you go to.
In general, he was like, "That's pretty weird." We thought it was weird that we were looking at the same moon, but basically, it was another day for him.
Right.
He was, let me see, he was already into the next day, and I'm looking at it a day. Yeah, so it gets into some weird stuff, but just as a general rule, he was like, "Oh, the computer says that we can't both see at the same time." And I don't know what site he was on. I found that weird. It didn't mean that, it wasn't nothing scientific, like they're crazy and they're lying. I just didn't dig any deeper. It's probably a way to explain that. But it doesn't explain a lot of the other things that people are seeing, and they're not addressing some of it. I've not heard one mainstream article say anything about the sun appearing different, or I am starting to see a lot of other people comment. What I've been saying is that they believe that to some degree the main weather services are underreporting certain areas, the actual temperatures, and it's almost like they don't want people to know that it's.
Oh, I mean, like today when it was only supposed to.
Than it should be. They're underreporting it. I'm convinced of it.
Well, just like here, they reported that it was 91 and it was 101.
Well, yeah, but
it's
then
always,
people around me even will tell me, "Oh, but that don't count because when you hold a thermometer in the bright sun, it's going to make it say hotter than it is." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't matter. That's what my body's feeling. My body is feeling that it's hotter, and that's what I'm telling you. I've lived 50 years. It's never felt like this on my skin, and this thermometer just happens to be agreeing with me that it feels like the rare 100-degree days that I walked around in as a kid. The only time I felt like this, I shouldn't be drenched and burning hot. 10 minutes walking in it. Never been that in my life. And everyone will go, "You're getting older and it affects you different and you're imagining it." I think it's just straight up putting off on heat. And then someone today told me, no, the atmosphere just gets thinner, so you're feeling it more. Well, whatever. It's still not like it used to be. That's all I'm saying. I'm not claiming nothing miraculous or absolutely. I'm not challenging, like flat Earth or nothing like that argument. I'm just saying the sun is not what I remember 20 years ago. It's hotter and it looks different. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not saying there's a solar stimulator. I'm not saying that absolutely it never looked white in the sky. I'm telling you, it looks white hot most of the day now, and it didn't used to look like that to me.
That's right.
But articles will tell me, and all the so-called science geniuses that I comment say you're retarded. Sun's always been white, and you just didn't. When as you were growing up, you just think that it was yellow due to the atmosphere, blah 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 blah, and it causes it to have a yellowish tone at certain times. It was always been white. And I just could disagree with that.
It wasn't. No, it
I don't know
wasn't.
what
It
color
was not
it might be
white.
white, but it didn't appear white.
It did not. It was not. It was not white. So for 50 years, the sun was yellow.
That's all I'm saying.
Even
Sue,
at
and that
high
picture that I
noon,
have is
even at
amazing.
high
And last
noon,
night,
it wasn't
I
white.
told you, I looked at that closely when y'all was asking y'all how could I, and I've done it. I've taken a picture of a picture and put it online before, but to upload it, I don't know how good it's going to look. But the closer I looked at this, the more I started looking at my own picture that it's been in the box for 20 years. It doesn't look now. It looks like I did something. It looks like I pulled some kind of bakery. Anyone that would look at this would go, "Well, this looks Photoshop." And I'm thinking, "Well, I don't even know what that was back then." I took a picture of it. Now I realize it was about Michigan. It sunsets an hour later than here because they're further to the west. I used to brag about that. I'd be on the phone with friends, and they'd go, "Well, sun's down here. It's pitch dark." And I'd be like, "Well, it's still totally light here." And they'd be like, "How is that? You're on the same time as me." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm a good 200 miles further west than you, so I get about an extra 40 minutes of daylight on the same day that you do." And that's always been that way. But that wasn't my point. It was I never noticed. I took this picture over Lake Huron about 2 hours before sunset, maybe three even. It was over the lake. It was beautiful. Oh, I kept it because it was like a postcard. Well, when I pulled it out and looked at the back, I had wrote on there Lake Huron, 1997. And I remember taking it, and it's just mustard yellow, and it looks so perfectly like a little drop of yellow paint that I dropped on the picture. And then the other weird thing, while y'all were talking, and I was looking at it again really close with a flashlight, it actually looked like I had taken an ink pen and drew a circle around it. Now, not blue ink, but on the back there was like an impression of a circle. And I said, well, maybe the picture maybe it's shining through the back, but no, it wasn't, because the water wasn't showing up. I had a flashlight, and I'm like, this is just odd. It had like a circle indentation on the back of the white photo, which had the word Kodak written on there and some other numbers and stuff. The whole thing just looked like a total fraud. And I'm thinking, well, this was way before any of that, Photoshop and people putting up fakes.
Well, yeah, but it also was taken with it wasn't a digital camera back then either.
No, not at all. Just a regular old school. But even so, it is a yellow that I have not seen the sun be in a long time, and it's perfectly round, and it looks fake, and it's right above the lake, and the sky is red, reddish orange, and there's just a few little thin clouds to the sides of it, and it's just bizarre because I don't think I could ever see it like that again.
Oh no, we're not going to see it like that again.
But I'd like to show somebody.
Oh, Patrick, God bless
and
you.
Tell me why it's like that. They'll tell me it's the water coming up and refraction and
have a good night
and that. But it's weird, and I knew you'd find it interesting. You would look at it, and it would set off something in you from way back when, and that kind of a nostalgic, like, yeah, that's the sun I'm trying to tell people that I remember that I don't see anymore, and they'll have a scientific reason to explain it. But I mean, this thing is
no, they won't.
Not. It's no yellow that has even come close. Even when it starts to look a little normal at sunrise and set, this is way beyond that. It is just solid yellow all the way through.
Right, like the sun used to be.
Looking really close, I can almost see a little dark spot that was probably a visible to the eye sunspot, because I'm trying to think I wasn't doing radio real heavy then. You could see the sunspots back then with hardly nothing. A filter and a cheap telescope, you could see the dark spots on the surface that are not there now. Obviously, we're in a minimum, but that being aside, it's just yellow, and it's a yellow that is just weird looking now, and that's terrible. That what used to be normal now looks fake to me, and that's how a lot of these Mandela effects happen. It's so-called Mandela effects. People had that memory like that yellow sun, and they see it now not like that, and they go, well, something's going on. Well, something's going on, all right, but I think it's totally, I don't want to say natural. It may be, yeah, you call it natural. Anything God does is natural. It's just, I can't believe how many people will argue with me that it's always been white.
Because
And
they never looked at it before. They're looking at it now because people
well,
are
I
pointing
think
it
that
out.
too.
Most people
But
don't. Ne-
now,
most people don't even look up.
when they say, oh, the orange-looking sun to your eyes and the yellow sun that you say you remember, that's all based on whatever the atmosphere was doing, and now we have less protection, and a lot of our atmosphere and UV protection that was there is not there, so
Yeah,
now
because
you
the
don't get
sun is
that good.
stronger and it burnt the ozone.
Well, maybe, but all I know is what used to appear yellow to my eyes, even when I stared at it on a burning hot Virginia beach noonday. So if I look at it now at 12 o'clock noon on a burning hot Virginia Beach day, it ain't going to look like it used to. I mean,
Nope,
I
not
don't
at
care what the
all.
reason is. That's all I'm saying. And I
Because
want someone to
Scripture
go,
says
well,
it's going to happen. That's the only reason we need to know. Scripture
that's,
says it.
yeah, and I don't need a to give me the science reason why it was always white and our atmosphere's changed, so now you see it for what it really is than you didn't back then. Well,
Well,
whatever,
whatever.
even if
So
that's true.
6,000 years ago, it was foretold that it was going to be bright
And
white,
it,
and the
it is,
moon is
yep,
going to be
and it
bright
is.
white, and it's going to be as bright as the sun eventually. So, they'll find some stupid explanation for that too. And all they're doing
Well,
is
I remember
it's cause and effect.
complaining.
So all they're
Well, I was
explaining,
convinced.
they're explaining the effects of the cause. The cause is God, right? And so they're
Well, see, but
explaining the
they're not
changes.
even including that. They're not including
I
that.
know
It's
they're
not even
not.
in there.
I know they're not, but they're giving you the effect, okay? They're telling you what the effect is. Okay, we know that the atmosphere and the ozone has changed, right? That's the effect. The cause of it is what God has done with the sun when the fourth angel poured out the vial on the sun
Yeah,
so that it
now
could
some
scorch
people call
man.
that Mother Nature, and that's fine too. It's still the case. I don't care how, if you don't want to say it's God, you can say it's science, you can say
No,
it's whatever you want. You're right though. The cause and the effect are have nothing to do with what we're saying. Well, what I realize now, before I even got back in my Bible a few years ago, I was walking here and I'd come in and say, why is the sun seem so much hotter? And everyone kept telling me, you're just getting older and you grew up here and you were young then and you could take the heat. Now it just feels hotter, but it's not. And I kept saying, no, it's different. It's hotter on my skin. I know it is. And I hadn't even got back into all this. Actually, it was 2014. I was saying, why is it so much hotter on my skin? I hadn't even quite noticed yet that it was white until that came a couple of years later. When I finally went, wait a minute, it's not even the same color I remember. No wonder it's hotter. But now I still get told, no, you're just older and you can't take the heat like you used to. And I said, no, I can feel it. It never
Yeah.
burnt my skin in 10 minutes, and I've never been soaking wet like this. And then have it really burn me because the water makes it even hotter on you. My clothes are actually hot and they're wet, and I can't wait to get them off. It's burning me, and they might agree and go, well, yeah, you got less UV now protection, and they say that the sun's putting out more UV, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It doesn't look the same, and it's hotter. End of story. And don't give me no reason. It doesn't matter. Like you said, you're giving me the effect. And we're trying to say, well, what's the cause of that? I don't think no one agrees on that. It's anywhere from global warming to all kinds of stuff, ozone depletion. Some of that I believe, some of it I don't. I don't know. And you hear two or three different places tell you two or three different. You got grand solar minimum space weather people that'll tell you one thing. So, and I keep up with a lot of the space weather. I don't believe it all, but keep up with it through my radios. You know, I need to know what the sun's doing and know what to expect to hear on my radio. I've been doing that for 30 years. And it's usually lined up pretty good when they would say, hey, it's going to be this and this and this going on today on the sun. You should hear some good stuff on this band and this band. It always seemed pretty right on. But then I don't believe a lot of the other stuff that they tell me. A lot of it just seems to be going along with so-called mainstream, which they like to give you all kind of reasons to keep you from going. Is something negative happening here? They don't want. I totally think that in some ways they're keeping things suppressed to some degree, and so people don't start to get scared. It doesn't scare me, but when people start to finally realize something isn't going on more than what they're being told, they are going to. A lot of people are going to be scared, and that's what I think they're doing. They don't want anyone panicking, going, "What do you mean the end of the world should be coming?" Some people might just quit going to work. Because you remember, and my mom told me this, she was alive and firsthand heard it, saw it, when they did that 50s broadcast that people tuned in halfway through and believed that aliens had landed and whatnot. She remembers that, or she did when she was alive. And yeah, people were jumping off of buildings and all kind of crazy stuff. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, don't you? That
Yeah.
famous thing. But yeah, she heard that, and it was big news in her day, and you know that people thought it was real, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's bizarre how people will react and panic and stuff. So yeah, I could see why they're not gonna. Well, the mainstream's never gonna use anything biblical to prove anything. I don't ever see no real reasons. They say stupid things about the weather now, and it ain't the weather guy. He's just taking a report that he got. When they say things like, "Well, nothing's showing on the radar right now, but in a couple of days there's going to be a terrible Hurricane Barry. It's just going to smash Louisiana." They're saying that right now, but there's really nothing showing up yet. But yet they're telling us in a couple of days it's just going to pop up and it's going to be bad. That's not how it used to be. They used to slowly take their time and go, "Here it is
Well,
now."
because
It's
they
not much.
because the technology is better now. They can tell by the low pressure and the high pressure and
Yeah, but
what's driven by
it
other
doesn't seem like
things.
the new technology has made it better. It seems like to me that they're less accurate now. So that tells me there's an anomaly thrown in there.
Well, of
We got
course, we
better
got storms
technology,
that
and the
just
forecasting's gotten less.
look. The people need to realize the atmosphere has changed. It's changed a lot. It started changing years ago, and it's getting worse and worse. But Scripture
Yep,
tells
I
us
agree
that's
with
going to
that.
happen. And so, yeah, they're trying to play catch up with technology to figure out what's going on. And
I'm
some
just not
some of it.
satisfied. I'm not satisfied with their in-depth explanations on why, with better technology, why I can't see it a week ahead of time and see it get bigger and bigger and head towards us. And so there it is. It's now a tropical storm. Probably going to be a hurricane soon, and then they guess which way it's going to go. I went through that for my whole life. Now I understand it's gotten better, like you said, but I don't know why I can't follow along now like I used to. I'm going, well, I don't see anything, but in 2 days from now, it's just going to be there. It's going to be boom, and it's just as it's damaging, and just like they promised. That part's all right, but they
Did
don't
you
seem
hear
to have
about the
the day to
plane that
day.
had to land today because of the winds? Because it hit such strong turbulence, it injured 34 people on the flight.
Well,
They
that's what I mean. A lot of air. That's what that guy was saying. A lot. What's off with all these airplane problems? It's got to be. It's got to be linked in with
Of
whatever's
course it is.
going
I've
on
been
with it.
watching birds get thrown backwards so much it isn't funny. They're trying to fly, and they
Well,
get
yeah. Well,
thrown
what was the?
backwards because the
I'm sure you
winds are
saw the
just
article. Then
crazy.
was it the plane that caught on fire? I forget which. Or it was one of the plane anomalies a few days ago. They said a bunch of bees fell out of the sky too, right when it happened. Whatever it was that happened to that plane, they said thousands of bees were on the ground, like half dead. So whatever caused the plane anomaly also seemed to affect all these bees. Now, so
Yeah.
they're related, but you notice they don't go too in depth because anything they were to go in depth on could cause a little bit of people, or what I call the masses. It could cause people to kind of freak out. I do get that. They don't want to go too in depth. They're not ever going to bring up Bible prophecy in the news. They're just not going to do it.
Well,
But they'll give you
ABC News did. They actually covered a man that a neurosurgeon that died, and told him heaven is real. They actually covered him on ABC News.
yeah, I'm seeing more of that. Yeah, I'm seeing more of those kind of stories, even in what I call papers that I never liked. That what I call, I don't know if I'm not into politics, but people would call it a left paper, New York Post, Washington Post, that kind of stuff. They're even starting to report things on spiritual related things like you just said. I'm seeing more of that, but I'm also seeing more of them kind of leaning, and you might agree or disagree. I'm seeing so-called mainstream report more on sky anomalies, like basically slowly trending towards all them years that we officially said people that were UFOs, that claimed UFOs, were probably kind of nutty people. They seem to be more friendly with reporting that stuff now. They seem to be coming out more with this pilot now coming through clean, and back in the day he saw this and that. They seem to be on the positive side of that. Of course, the conspiracy people are going to say, oh, yeah, well, we predicted this cover up. They're going to suddenly come out with it and disclose it and then suddenly, boom, all this weirdness. But, I mean, people are seeing a lot of activity, and I don't believe in space aliens in any way, shape, or form, but there's something going on up there. People are seeing activity that's just beyond what we've ever seen. I don't know what it is.
Spiritual
But when I
warfare.
say UFO, people picture that I'm believing in a flying saucer coming from another planet with green men in it. That's not what I mean at all. I just mean I don't know what that is, and it's non-stop anymore. And there's orbs, and I started having it where I couldn't go out one night without something that didn't make sense. Like going by. And if I say, well, I don't think so, I don't know what it is. Well, what are you saying? It's a aliens in a spaceship? No, I'm just saying I don't know what it is. It's increased, whatever's going on up there. I'm in the camp that there's a spiritual war raging in the heavens that we can't comprehend, and I don't know how to explain it. That's just what I think deep down is happening, and to what degree I have no clue. It's just, you know, I'm not going to jump on board on the channels that still cover. But there was a reason they ran all that ancient alien crap. They shoved it down everybody's throat for 20 years and got a lot of people that didn't believe in any of that to jump on board with it. I did notice that, and hey, I was right there with them
Well, they only ran
back
it.
in the.
They ran it because it's popular and they can make money off it. They run.
Well, they know there's only so much longer they can blow this off. They always had some lame reason to explain away any anomalies, and now they seem more open to say, we really don't know what's going on. So I am seeing that too. You're right. They are starting to report things like that more. But how much longer are they going to be able to underreport the worldwide weather in insanity. I mean, they're not going to be able to underreport it for so much longer because people call. They have friends in other countries, so whether they report on something crazy that's happening in the Middle East or in Russia or wherever, there's so many people that can link together now. I can get a hold of people in any country I want and ask them, what do you see right now? And that didn't used to be the case. So, yeah, they've got to change their reporting. I mean, until then, unless they shut all this down, if they shut all this off on us, then who knows? But right now, there's a guy that I wake up and I don't grab my phone anymore when I wake up. And I got out of that. I didn't like it, the feeling of it. Like I was grabbing it to see if I missed anything while I slept. And I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. I think I told you before, but now I take my time. I pray. I take an hour to be thankful for waking up, and I don't even think about my phone. There ain't nothing that could be on there that I need to see that I can't wait. So, and if I wake up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I don't need to look at it. I used to. I constantly checking it. I thought I was going to miss something. But now, don't do it. I get on here, I might turn it on if I'm here all day, let's say. I might turn it on at 2 or 3, check it real quick. But I don't usually play anything or look for something. And before, it was my entertainment. But no, I don't do it now. This is it. And actually, I'm going to get off here now, let someone else get in, and I'll get back in the chat, see what everybody's up to, say hey. And yeah, it's just a shame I can't see anything tonight. But uh, some people got some crazy weather. I was talking to a guy on my radio. He's only 3 miles from me, and he said it was lightning like crazy. And all I had was wind and rain. And then someone else that I talked to said, they were just getting rain. I said, shoot, it stopped raining here an hour ago. And they ain't that far from me. So, yeah, it's all murky out. I don't see anything. So, I ain't going to be able to see anything. I never hardly have a clear sky. Last night was amazingly clear sky. Should have went out there, but the mosquitoes were absolutely insane. They don't bite me much, but I don't like them all over me. So,
Right.
I stayed out 10 minutes and came back. And I just wanted to tell you, hey, if you can see it, go look at that weird right side of the moon. It is crazy looking tonight. And that was about it. That's why I said, oh, I'm talking into the back of the phone. Sorry. Yeah, it wasn't important. That's why I just said, no, I ain't even nothing I need to call for, really. Just wanted to ask anyone that could see it anywhere within a few hours of us if they could see it, what they were saying about it. And there's not always people in here that are able to go out and come back in. So it wasn't even that important. I found it a little strange. And otherwise, it was just the same old, not same old, but yeah, it was the bright light we've been talking about. And it shouldn't hurt my eyes like that. The moon should be a cool, soothing light like I remember my whole life. And it's not always anymore. And
Well,
so, yeah, you going on and on about that verse that we looked at that
that's
night
right.
is totally fine because it's like you're anyone that would question you that that's not the case. All you got to do is go, well, go look that, and if you can't say you believe this book at all, if you're going to refute what that says, so there you go. It is important, and to me, it was very important because anyone that wants to tell you it's not any brighter, blah blah blah, then you go, well, hey, I know better, so think what you want. You're not making no outrageous claims unless someone thinks that scriptures are outrageous, which I even think people that I've seen people that go, I do not buy into the Bible as anything more than a very good history book, blah blah blah. Even them kind of people are saying this thing is amazingly accurate. I mean, look, no denying it. Even non-believers have to admit there's great truth in the Bible. I've seen them say it. Now, atheists will say, yeah, it was written by some really smart people, whatever, but even so, I don't care if you believe it or not, it is accurate. So it makes me understand that it couldn't be accurate unless it was divine. So, and don't give me, like we said the other night, I have people that do it all the time when I say, well, how can the Bible consistently be calling out things perfectly? And all they ever want to do, well, Nostradamus, Nostradamus does that. He's got a better record than the Bible. And I'm not even sure what his motives were, if he was a real person that did what they claimed, even if that's true.
It's not
I don't want
true.
to hear
His
it.
predictions were wrong. He said the world was going to end in 1980. He had so many predictions that were wrong, and the stuff that he got close to right, he took from the Bible.
And that's the funny thing is
But anyway,
anybody
people want to
that's
buy
still
into
doing it,
that, so they do.
all the YouTube people, and it doesn't take away that they're all wrong, but I don't know why I can't count how many that when I first
Well,
got on in 2013
that's
that were
Satan's
talking about
plan.
Planet X. Yeah, according to the Planet X channels, they all said the Earth was going to end in 2015, and they pushed it to 16, and they pushed it to 17, pushed it to 18,
Oh,
and
it's
now all they're saying is now that's really the end, and maybe it will be, but then next year if we're here, they're going to say this is the year, and they'll just keep pushing the goalposts back.
they don't care.
That doesn't make any.
Long as people are clicking that channel and they're getting paid for those
Yep.
commercials, they don't care.
That's all that matters, and it doesn't matter if we're still here in 2030, which I don't want to be negative and say I don't think we're going to be here that much longer, but it doesn't matter. Even if they'll still be saying in 29. Well, we said back in 2012 it was going to end, but we didn't know what we know now. It's definitely coming now, and we're about to get hit. I'm not saying something bad ain't going to happen any day. I don't know. It says that I'm not supposed to know, but why would you keep setting dates? And when you get proven wrong, you should go run away with your tail between your legs, but they don't. They just make an excuse and continue with the clickbait. And it doesn't mean that they're not onto something. I think there could be something to what people are seeing and are calling Planet X and Nibiru. Something's probably to that, but it's just they don't need to be setting dates. Absolutely not, because they don't know and they're not supposed to know. Now you're supposed to look and notice and use it to get your life together. Assuming something seems wrong with you, that's what my opinion. But yeah, this date setting is getting ridiculous because it can work both ways. It can make people not believe anything is ever going to happen, which is not good, and it can make people believe every day that the world's going to end and be in fear. That's not good. It's got to be somewhere in the middle, which I hope we're in the middle. We just understand that prophecy's coming true, and we're taking those signs, I am anyway, and trying to take the negatives in my life and turn them into positives and think every day. I didn't even get into that. I want to get off here and blabbing too long. Yesterday, I thought I told you, but it was somebody else. I went out and I had a pretty frustrating morning thinking, because I didn't have any money and my phone's breaking down and I don't have a lot of things I need around the house. And I'm thinking, man, I ain't got no way to get nothing going today. And I go out today, and it's just going to be a bunch of negative, angry people, I've been trying not to be like that. I said, well, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to be the light today. I'm going to be the one that gives a smile. I'm going to be the one that, if I can help somebody, and how can I help? I'm broke, but I said, it's just some way I'm going to be a light in someone's day. And I went out, went down the street, and I was down there. First thing, a guy come up to me and goes, hey, man, an older guy, can I please use your cell phone? I need to call somebody. And he was older. I don't like to do it much because I've had weirdos call weird people on my phone. But anyway, I said, oh, yeah, just, that's fine, I understand. And he used it. He was very appreciative. I said, you want something to drink? And he was like, yeah, I could use that. He wasn't homeless, but he was just walking, about 60-some-year-old guy. Bought him a tea and just talked to him. He was real nice, thankful to use the phone. That made me feel good. But then that happened, And then I went over to GNC. I didn't have any money. I had like $5 on me, and it was hot. And I went in there and told the lady, I'm gonna look around at some supplements. I got no money, but I might ask you some questions. Oh, that's fine. She was real nice. It shocked me. And then I said, yeah, what's that up there? Was a diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but I'm like pre-diabetic. I've been trying to change my diet. By the way, I'm 2 weeks in on my no meat totally. I mean, I was down to chicken, but now I've cut it out. I make no meat now. Going in 2 weeks, and I feel great, and I ain't missing it at all.
Well, good.
So it's just something I've always wanted to do, and I'm finally doing it. So anyway, it's weird, but anyway, I was asking about this supplement, GNC, and I say that says diabetic support, and what's in that? And we talked about it. It was $39.95. I said, well, I can't buy it today, but yeah, I might come back. And then she goes, well, I can give you a little break on it. And I'm like, oh, you got a sale? She's like, no, I can just give you a little off. And I'm like, really? I said, well, I ain't got nowhere close to $39. And she's like, well, I thought she was going to say half off or something. She goes, well, I'll sell it to you for $5. I said, what? $40? You can just go sell it to me for $5? How can you do that? She's like, well, I'm the shift manager. I can do whatever I want. I said, well, Brian, that's nice. I said, but sadly enough, I don't even have $5. I'm so sorry. I said, that sounds pitiful, but I said, but thank you. That's so nice. And she said, well, how much do you have? And I said, I got like to spare. I said, because I got I forgot what I told her. I had to go get something from this other. I said, I for like $3. She's like, give me that then. And I said, great. And for a $40 bottle of, what looked like good vitamins and had some good herbs and plant-based stuff. And then as she rang it up, she was like, yeah, don't give me nothing. And I was like, God, thank you. And she wasn't like flirting or nothing because from there, she said something about, because I told her my cell phone was shot, trying to find out to get a new one and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, well, I got a brand new iPhone 6 that I just upgraded. Would you want it if I give it to you? And I was like, well, I hate taking stuff, but I ain't going to say I wouldn't. And she's like, well, let me talk to my boyfriend. That's when I figured out she's not flirting or nothing. So I asked my boyfriend, I'm sure he won't mind. He just got a new one, and it's like a $600 phone. And then I even said, well, is it cleared? Is it paid off? I mean, can I take it in and get it changed to my number? And she's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And then she goes, well, whatever. If there's money owed on it, I'll have him pay it off, and it'll be clear, and I'll call you in a few days. And I was like, what is going on with this lady? She was just seemed like an angel, and absolutely, it was just shocking. When I started off my day thinking I'm gonna see a bunch of hateful people, like always, and it's just what's this world coming to. Everybody that I ran into was like super nice, and it totally was amazing. It really was. And all I did was loan my phone to a guy. He was super appreciative. She was super nice, and there was one more thing. Oh, another guy picked me up on my way out of here. There was an older guy, Vietnam vet, who said, hey, where are you going? I said, just going down the street to Gills today. And he's like, hop in, man. And he was super nice. So, yeah, I had a really wonderful, blessed day yesterday. All positive and good. Well, my foot's hurting me, so that's good. But, hey, other than that, yeah, it was a wonderful day, man. Of people being nice and friendly, and it was all. I ain't saying it's only because I prayed for it to happen, but I did spend an hour and a half that morning kind of praying for that. That if I go out, that I can be of service to somebody. And it's more about what I can do for other people now, but yeah, people wanted to do for me. And the reason why I don't feel like no one's doing for me because I don't go out. If I stay locked in here for 10 days in a row on this device, nothing's ever going to seem better. But I got to have a reason to go out. That's just it. It's hard to just go out and say, well, And then I was asking people about work, and I had some leads on that come in. Just a lot of positive yesterday. So that's cool. I'll end with that, and I'll jump back in the room for a little bit. Let somebody else get call if they want, or just do what you do. Thanks, Judy.
All right. Thank you, Glenn. It was a pleasure talking to you.
All right, I hope I didn't get run off the rails too much. I still think there's something weird going on with these big truck wrecking. It's just too many, and it's day after day after day. I'm going to start updating you on it and tell you, well, we've had 5 in the last 3 days, and that's not how it was. I don't know what could be causing that. I just think a lot of weird things are occurring these days, and I'm not putting no weird supernatural label on everything, but I do see a connection in everything right now, kind of headed in a strange direction. Be it the weather, be it the way people act, on and on and on. That's all my point was. It's a personal thing to me, living on the highway, and it's noticeable to me. But I'm kind of a weird guy that notices strange things. I feel like I'm the only one that notices that I don't see bees like I used to. And people say you're insane, and when I see a butterfly now, it's actually really amazing. But I've been seeing them, and that's good. So, today I saw a snake this morning when I took the trash out. I went to pick up this baby snake. I thought, most likely they're usually garter snakes, which are harmless. But I went to grab this little thing, and I noticed it wasn't a garter snake. It was a baby something else, and I don't know what, but it was not a baby garter. It was a all brown looking. I don't know. It could have been a baby poisonous snake. So I let him go real quick. Didn't want to get bit, but I wanted to get him out of the hot sun, and didn't want a bird to eat him. But I didn't help him because I didn't know what he was. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys another time.
All
Love
right.
everybody in the room.
All right.
Everybody have a great night. Thanks, Judy.
You
Bye
too,
bye.
Glenn. God bless you.
Wish you too. Hope your car's doing better, and get that cough straightened out for once.
All right. Thanks.
Garlic and vinegar and turmeric. I've been on all that, and I feel way better. Anyway, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Glenn. Okay. Charity, I don't know if you're still there or not. I was trying to answer your question. Um, about LA being evacuated. Yeah, they started evacuating LA because they're saying the Mississippi River is already at flood stage, and this is the first time in history that a storm is coming in with all this potential heavy rainfall at a time when the Mississippi River is also already flooded. So the chances of them having flooding is pretty great. Let me cut the volume back on this thing, if I can. If I can. 20 plus. And to answer your question, Glenn, no, my car is not fixed. It needs an engine. And everybody's telling me that it's not worth buying a used engine because those engines are known to have that same problem. That's what the mechanics are telling me. So I need a car, or I need a new engine, or a rebuilt engine. Because if I buy a used one, it's going to be the same issues. Because ain't nobody selling that engine unless it's already went bad. That's where Charles Wilson lives, in Lake Charles. That's where my ex-husband was from. See, the jet stream is crazy nowadays. That's not how the jet stream used to move. But yes, a plane had to make an emergency landing today because it hit some severe turbulence high in the sky that wasn't predicted, and the radars didn't show, and the winds just were crazy, and it injured 34 people on the plane. The other day, a plane had to make an emergency landing in North Carolina because, well, they said they thought two of the engines failed, and then haven't really confirmed what happened, but planes are making emergency landings or crashing all over the world at a record number, and trains are being derailed at record numbers. We continue this track of uh, 1,000-year storms, 1,000-year floods, 1,000-year this, because it never happened and they don't have records of it happening before. And we know it's just going to continue to get worse. Next year, we're going to be saying everything's probably going to be doubled by then. But remember, famine is coming because this weather is causing a lot of damage everywhere around the world. So it's affecting crops and animals, and that's for New Orleans. I mean, for Louisiana anyway. So that was them. Yeah, let's see if they got the new track yet. Well, this is 10:03 p.m. I guess that's the latest. I guess. Okay. Oh, a new earthquake right here. Well, there was another two 3.3s in a row. One in Little Lake, California, and the other in Alancha, California. And it was 3.9 in Surlis Valley, California, and a 3.0 in Little Lake. And this one is a 4.4 in Kermadec, south of Kermadec Islands. So they're all over the place. This one over here was in Greece, a 4.4. So Russia and Greece and Japan, that was a 5.0 in Japan. Everybody is. Iraq got hit with an earthquake yesterday. You know, I mean, all the usual places are getting theirs, but some of the places are kind of odd. All right, so looks like all the severe storms for tonight have finished. So, thank y'all for joining. Thanks for calling in, Glenn. And maybe tomorrow we'll have some more people call in, and maybe we'll have some good news. I mean, the good news is that God loves you and He gave you His precious Son as our gift for our salvation. So that's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to close out. May everyone have a blessed night and beautiful dreams of the days to come when all the evil's gone from the world. God loves you, and so do I. And if you go back to the beginning of this video, you can watch and listen to the U.S. Navy Nimitz Battle Group documentary. I shared it again because people missed it the first time I shared it. Oh, wait, let me go back to where the actual footage of the not the radar footage, but the actual video footage of what they saw. I think this is it, and I'll just show this right quick. And why don't I have sound? Oh, because I cut the sound off while Glenn was on the phone. That's why I have no sound. Ah, darn it, darn it.
You call bricks because they physically have me like a brick. They contain software like a lot of the data.
Oh, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I thought I was showing the video. I guess you can hear it, but you can't see it. That's my fault.
But it did have some protruding at the bottom of it. I couldn't get the straight down. Jason says the video was approximately
Forgive me.
much lower.
Now this was from the Roosevelt. Same thing the Nimitz encountered. All right, that's enough. Thank you all. God bless.